question?
Yeah, first Wesley, can you just tell us your overall thoughts on your team's performance today?
Sorry. Yeah, I think there were a lot of good moments, and I think it's important that we remember and hone in on those good moments, but we know that there are some areas to improve as well. And I think going into a long year, a long season, we're just looking at the next game in front of us against Utah and how can we improve in the areas we need to in a week's time to hopefully get a result on the road. But I think it's important we acknowledge it's early. There's a lot of good, but there's also a lot of room for improvement in certain areas.
Could you walk us through that goal? It seemed like you were waving your hands a little bit before the shot came in, or the cross came in. What were you trying to communicate to your defense?
I think we just need all as a collective to be more organized. We knew that they wanted to play direct and play in behind, and that's where they executed. So it's a matter of watching it, learning from it, and then being better going forward.
So the team had a couple of changes from the squad. Some people left, some people came in. How is the team adapting to those changes, and what can we expect on this season?
Yeah, obviously there is like some change, but that's part of football. Any team is going to change every season. I think we have to look forward now, and we can't like all the time coming and speaking about last season. It's a new season, and we start tonight. And I think the player that performed tonight for the first time for us were really good. They had a really good performance. It's never easy. We have some player that honor the first game as a professional football player, so that's a lot of things, and I think they done really well tonight. And the most important is to improve every game.
How do you both feel being back again in the field, and what are the sensations of the team after talking most of the game and not being able to get a goal?
Yeah, I think we're all ultimately so excited to be back. This stadium, these fans are electric, and I don't think any of us take that for granted, so we're super grateful for them and to be back out here. But I think obviously we didn't see all the pieces come together exactly the way we wanted tonight, but we know that we have a lot of the pieces we need to get results, and I think that's going to start coming. We're going to put a lot of work in this upcoming week. We're going to be focused and fine-tune where we need to, but I think ultimately we're in a really good spot, and I think the pieces will start to come together moving forward.
Kenza, obviously the team goes down at halftime. You as the captain, both of you as the captains, right? Walk us through that message with the team at halftime, and then coming into the second half and just dominating the second half, generating chances, 9 shots on target, 14 corners. What is that frustration like, right, of not being able to get the goal in? But walk us through the positives of having those chances.
Yeah, the message at halftime was, I said that we were doing really well. I think we were the better team. We just need to be more aggressive in the box. That was my message. I think like everything, in football, the most difficult thing is to create opportunities. And I think we're doing that really well. Tonight, the goalkeeper of Houston had the performance of the match for me, and that means a lot. And yeah, as I say, like it's a really long season, and the most important is to be resilient and to get better every game. But at halftime, I think we were in a good place. We were in a really good spot. We're missing this goal. Houston in second half decided to just defend, like they stopped playing, and that's the most difficult things in football is when you face a low block with 11 players in the box and you need to find a solution, and we haven't tonight, but I think there's a lot of positive.
I guess Kenza, first we're just mentioning the corner kicks. So with 14 corners, how do you decide when to go utilize short and when to play long?
Houston is one of the best team in defending set pieces, in my opinion. From last season, they're so organized. They have like really physical player. So like scoring from a direct corner is really hard against them. I think it's just like as well the profile you got on the pitch. When Melanie came on, she's a really good 1v1 player, and you need to use that. She won really good free kick, and just recognize where's the space. I think like they were defending really well, so we tried to balance between short and direct corner, and we need to find these pieces and master them a little bit better.
And then one more for Kennedy. You guys play an aggressive pressing game, and you push your defensive line pretty high. How do you then manage the risk of transitions?
Yeah, I think it's super. We do pride ourselves in the high press. We love to either start in a high press or get into a high press at some point, and I think with that we really just need to emphasize getting pressure on the ball, and that enables us to be higher up on the field. I think going into this week, going into this season, that'll be super important. Our aggressiveness, not being afraid of what's behind you and just fully going after the other team on defense, I think will definitely be a point of emphasis, and we want to be that aggressive high team and force teams to have to play out of really high pressure. So that'll definitely be our focus going forward.
We'll take one more in the room.
Yes, hi. So, as we know, this is the first match of the season. How hard it is for a footballer to change the switch from the preseason to the actual start of the season. As we know, it was a very short preseason with the Coachella Invitational. How hard it is to change the switch?
Personally, I found it really long. The preseason was really, really long. We actually can't wait that it's over. I'm so glad it is. I think the switch was more for Kennedy, for example, that played with the national team and then come back and had to switch on really quick and do this. And I think every player that had international break, like, it's not easy, but you have to do it. So maybe she's gonna answer that question of how.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, obviously the preseason for each individual looks different, and I think ultimately we are all just so excited and eager when it's over and when we get to compete and get to play against opponents and get it going. Obviously, it is a long season, and we all know that, but I think there's a lot of just built up excitement, nerves amongst everyone, whether experienced or not, going into the season. But ultimately, I do think we're in a really good spot. Everyone was ready for this game. We're built up, and I think it puts us in a good spot going forward. We just have to fine-tune some things.
Great. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back with